I'm spending family day today with some of my children at Roberto Clemente State Park, which is located in the Bronx in New York City. The park is free to come to. They have things that have minimal fees, such as the pool and the barbecue area if you wanted to reserve it. But other than that, the park is completely free, and there's a lot of things to do in the park. It's very natural. There's a lot of green spaces available so that you can enjoy nature. These walk paths that let you walk on and look at the river and enjoy the water. And also, there's a lot of walking trails so that you can walk around the park for exercise or just to enjoy yourself or have a nice conversation or even drink your coffee. So, right now, we're headed over to the playground area. In the playground area is a spacious area itself. It has two parts to it. One of the playground spaces is for infants and toddlers, and this bigger space is for bigger children or older children. So they have those two spaces, and then when you go past this big playground area, there is a sprinkler over there for the children. So if you don't want to take them to the pool, they can get wet right here in the playground area. Also, there's benches on both sides of the playground. So whatever side you're sitting on, there's benches available so that you can watch your children as they play. And the playground area where the kids play, like the actual slides, have these like canopies over it to block it from the sun, so that when it's hot they don't get too hot. And also, they have bicycle paths and walking trails, which is what we're doing now. And these lead you around the park so that you can get to the various fields and basketball courts that they have available. And also, when you walk straight back this way, the restrooms are back there. So the men and women's restroom is back here when you're right. As you keep walking, you'll come to a field that has bleachers, and they play a lot of games in there, a lot of baseball games, do a lot of practicing. During the weekdays, there's a lot of like different schools and teams that come in and utilize the fields to practice and to compete against each other. So this is a very this park is well utilized. A lot of New Yorkers come here and use it for all the different amenities that it has. And it's just a very pleasant place to be. If you don't want to, go too far, if you live in the Bronx, if you live in Manhattan, this is one of the places that you can go. It's a state park. So, state parks tend to have a lot more green space and more things to do than a traditional park, which is smaller. So that's why a lot of times families like to come to the state park, because there's so much to do besides just going to the playground. Or maybe you may go to the playground for a little while and then want to just like go to the pool for a bit and then maybe come out and play some ball. It could be a day where you could spend doing a lot of family activities, and and just have a great time with your family or whoever you come out with, or if you're watching kids or however. Also, the Circle Line boat, it rides along the river, and then on this side, and also a lot of little speed boats and different other types of boats ride in the river. My kids like to watch boats go by, so sometimes we'll just stand over there by the path that they have for us to look at the water, and we'll look at the different boats and they'll identify them and things like that. So that's a very nice thing to do. It's a very relaxing thing to do. And like I said, like this is free, because a lot of times I know that people look for things to do in New York City, because New York City is an expensive city, but at the same time, they have a lot of free activities if you would just look for them. There's a lot of things to do that you don't have to pay for. So that is one of the benefits of living here, is that there's so much to do, so many cultural things to do, so many outdoors things to do, particularly in the summertime, because in the winter, our winters can get brutal. This field is the largest field that they have at the state park, and it's all the way in the back of when you keep walking the walking trail straight to the back, you'll end up at this field. And they do a lot of different things in here too. They race, they play soccer in this field, they run around the walking trail to, practice for races and things like that, and people walk for exercise too. I come back here a lot, and just come back here and relax. I'll bring like a cup of coffee and come early when it's empty like this. I like it when there's not that many people, and I'll walk and I'll just, sip my coffee and just have a relaxing time. This is also good if you have children with special needs. I have some children that have special needs, and it's peaceful and it's calming to come back here because you can come back at a time such as this where there's not that many people. And when there's not that many people, there's not that much noise, so they won't be overstimulated with all of the sounds and things like that, and they can enjoy themselves in the park. And even if they need to, make a lot of noise or have extra space to run around and jump around, they're able to do so because the park is not congested. Okay, so it's really good to come out here. If you come out here like early in the morning or certain days of the week, it's not that crowded. Sometimes if you come like on like a Saturday or something like that, and it's like a really nice day or a holiday, it's going to be crowded. But other than that, it's not that crowded. Yeah, so this is just like another view of the river and the rocks and things. There's different types of wildlife that lives back here too. There's what looks appears to be domestic cats, but they live back here. I've actually seen them on the rocks. There's raccoons back here. A lot of these like different creatures, they come out at night because this is a state park, but some of it, like when we're going to the back here, is undeveloped. Like when you get to a certain part, you'll see a gate. In that part, they didn't carve out into a park, and I think that the wildlife still lives back there, and at night they will come out. So they always advise, if you are back here when it starts to turn dark, I think like around 7 they close the field back here and you have to go to the front. The park itself actually closes around, I believe it closes around 8 o'clock. Usually, you can't have parties or anything back here. Back here is strictly for like exercise and things like that, or using the field and things of that nature. If you want to have parties, that would be, it's an area before the playground that has the barbecue grills and benches. This is the area that I was telling you about that's undeveloped, which is why they have a gate there. And it's really spooky looking when it gets dark. On this side of the field is the train track. And this train track is for the Metro North train, which in New York City is an express train. It goes into like Long Island and different places like that. It will get you from here. This is the Bronx, and then about 1 or 2 stops you would be already in Manhattan, in Upper Manhattan, West Side. You would be in like 125th Street. It goes really fast. It costs a little bit more than the MTA, and you can take it up to like Ride Playland too, which is another amusement park. If you look it up in Rye, New York, so the train has different schedules depending. Okay, so now we were on our way to the pool. We spent some time in the park, walking the trails, and enjoying the sights. And I wanted to end the day with them with going to the pool, because initially we were going to go to the pool first, but because of the way the weather looked, it was like really cloudy outside, and the weather said that it would be drizzling and things like that. I decided to take them to the park. So now, as you can see, the sun is back out and things like that. So I said, you know what, let's just go to the pool. So that's what we did. When we got to the pool, we were lucky because the locker rooms were closed. So we were able to go straight into the pool area, which is what they're doing now. So these are like some benches you can sit there and like rest and things like that. And when you go through the gate right here, is going straight into the pool area, which they're already dressed for the pool, because like I said, we were going to go earlier. They just have to take off their shirts and things like that. So that's what we're doing now. We're walking over actually to the kiddie pool areas. 2 different pool areas here. It used to be 3. There's a kiddie pool area, the adult pool, or the pool for everyone if you can swim at that level. And then they used to have the very deep pool. I think it went to like 11 feet, and they closed that part off. They closed the 11 feet part off. So now we just have the kiddie pool area that also has a sprinkler area, and then we have the adult pool. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the kiddie pool area. My oldest son he went over to the adult area, I believe, but they wanted to go to the kiddie pool area, so that's what we did first. And again, there's not that many people there here today, as you can see, which is not how it is on a typical day. So even if you see it like that when you come, it won't be like this. It will be a lot of people here. So be prepared for that. But other than that, you'll have a great time. If you bring kids here, they have a great time. All kids love the kiddie pool here because of that waterfall. And this kiddie pool, as you can see, is up to his calves, maybe. So even very small babies, like a 1 year old, could enjoy this pool. There's always different. There's even benches right here by this waterfall for parents to sit right there and watch the kids. And there's also benches on the other side of the kiddie pool if you want to sit that way. This side over here by the waterfall happens to have more shade than the other side. This is what the kids really, really like. Even babies, they really like the sprinkler area. They love this area, as you can see, and you can see why. It's very colorful. They have all different types and shapes and sizes of sprinklers and things for them to do. Babies love sitting in this area with this red circle and letting the water pour on them there. You'll see a lot of babies in there. The kids love running in and out of here. You just have to watch right here, your kids, because there's an open area right here that leads right out and they can get into that adult pool. So keep your eyes on your kids if they do come into the sprinkler area, unless they're kids that are old enough to, be more responsible and that you don't have to watch like that. But if you have like little babies and stuff, stand right here and we'll follow them around in the sprinkler area. When you go over here into this area, the kiddie pool, there's a gate right here, which locks usually. Typically it's locked, but it's not now because the pool is closing. So that is how the kiddie pool looks on this side.